The beat dropped, but my heart surged. It was September 2023, 2 years ago, and I was 27, a music producer mixing tracks in Berlin's neon-lit club district. My deck's a shield against the past that had muted my trust. My name's Elias, and Berlin was my sound. It's techno pulse and electric nights, a rebellion against a Hamburg suburb where I'd hidden my queerness until I came out at 18 in 2014. A ghosting ex had left me looping alone. His betrayal in 2021. Still scratching my heart, so I'd sworn off love, pouring my soul into my beats, drops, fades, Berlin's rhythm. But that night, Kreuzberg had other plans, ones that dropped my heart into a new track. The Neon Beat Fest was a surge of energy, a blast of light purple neons flashing beat, red strobes swirling, techno and house beats thumping, festival goers hyped in glow sticks and LED jackets. My booth, Vibe Mix, was alive, my decks humming, my short black hair tucked under a cap, my sneakers tapping as I cued a drop. I was mid-set, the crowd pulsing, when a vocalist, Milo, tripped over my cable. His mic crashing, the sound cutting out. The crowd groaned, my track stalled, and I snapped, "Yo, watch the setup." He turned Milo, maybe 29, his tousle brown hair glowing, a loose shirt flashing, his green eyes wide, flustered, like a spark in the neon haze. I wanted to remix. Hamburg scars yelling, "Keep your sound tight," but his eyes caught me, warm under the neon. My heart looping like a glitched track. "My bad," he said, scrambling to grab his mic, his voice smooth, a Berlin lilt cutting through the booze. His fingers brushing mine on the cable, a jolt igniting my skin. I checked my decks, sound muted, and Milo leaned in, his cologne bergamot, smoke mixing with the festival's electric air. "I'm Milo," he said, dusting his shirt, his grin shy but electric. "Vocalist. Caught your mixes on SoundCloud Fire." My cheeks burned, Hamburg's walls trembling, but his vibe felt too much like my ex's charm, too risky to cue. My ex had been a DJ, all hype until he ghosted me in 2021, leaving me to mix alone in Hamburg's dim studios. My trust faded. I reset my decks, but Milo lingered, his eyes tracing mine, like he saw the beat beyond my cap. "Let me make it up," he said, offering to sing over my next track, the crowd hyping as I queued up. The neon pulsed, Kreuzberg's energy urging me to play, but I deflected. "I'm good," I said, voice sharp, checking my faders. Milo's laugh bright, warm cut through, his hand grazing my wrist, a spark I couldn't mute. "Check my vocals," he said, nodding to his booth, his eyes daring. "Or you two stuck in your mix?" I wanted to stay in my booth, but Milo's grin pulled me to his setup. The neon flaring purple, red, blue as techno thumped louder. His vocal booth was sleek mics looping live sessions, his SoundCloud tracks trending with soulful hooks, the crowd buzzing. My pulse raced, Hamburg's ghost fading, Berlin's heat urging me to spin. But mid-note, a speaker wobbled, Milo stumbling toward the stage edge. I lunged, grabbing his arm, pulling him back, our eyes locking, his breath hot against my cheek. "Nice save," he gasped, his grin electric, his hair brushing my jaw. My heart surged, but doubt clung. Was he real, or just another Kreuzberg clip, ready to ghost like my ex? Asterisk, asterisk, I pulled back, the neon blurring as I retreated to my decks, Kreuzberg's rhythm syncing with my fear. "Thanks for the catch," Milo called, following me, his shirt open, his eyes softer now, less flash, more real. "Stay," he said, voice low, a plea in his Berlin lilt. The festival buzzed, neon glowing brighter, club hum pulsing nearby, and I knew this wasn't just a dropped beat. This was Berlin, dropping me into a track I wasn't ready for, but couldn't fade. The festival club was a neon soundscape, blue lights pulsing beat, purple strobes flashing, house beats driving the crowd wild. Milo dragged me to his vocal booth, his mic off, his hands light on my shoulders, urging me to try a new hook for his set. My pulse hammered, Hamburg scars begging me to loop out, but Berlin's heat electric Smokey kept me spinning, my cap loose, Milo's grin pulling me deeper. Not bad, Mix King, he teased, voice low, his breath sparking a shiver. Knew you had a vibe, I shot back, steadier than I felt. My producer's call matching his energy. My ex had dropped promises like this, all streams until he ghosted. Me in 2021, leaving me to mix alone in Hamburg's crack studios, my heart offbeat. Milo's touch was different, bold yet careful, his eyes searching mine like he saw the sound beyond my decks. The music slowed, a chill house track, and Milo stepped closer, his chest grazing mine, his cologne bergamot, smoke intoxicating. Why are you fading? He asked, voice piercing like he knew my walls. My throat tightened. Hamburg's. Pain surging, but Berlin's neon urged me to speak. I don't trust vocalists, I confess, voice raw, the crowd fading. Just us in the neon glow. Milo's grin soft, his eyes dimming, less spark, more human, his hand still on my arm. Warm, grounding. I'm not that guy, he said, voice firm, his Berlin lilt tinged with hurt. Just a dude who heard your mixes and couldn't skip. My heart twisted, his words hitting like a perfect drop, raw, clear, shaking Hamburg's grip. I thought of my ex's streams, but Milo's gaze was open, unguarded. The neon pulsed, Kreuzberg's energy wrapping us, and I wanted to believe him, but fear held me, my cap slipping, my pulse a glitch loop. We moved to my booth, neon purple, red glinting. Off my decks, howls a soft hum, the festival's buzz fading. Milo leaned in, voice quieter, less flirty, more real. I'm a vocalist, he said. Chase hooks live for the mic, but your mixes, they're real, Elias, like you. His words felt sincere, but a festival goer nearby scoffed, calling. Milo Kreuzberg's mic hog, always singing, never staying. My stomach sank, Hamburg scars screaming. Fade. That true? I asked, voice sharp, my geck still, eyes locked on his. Milo's eyes widened, hurt flashing, but he didn't dodge. I sing, he said, voice low, but I don't ghost. The neon flared, Kreuzberg's pulse mocking my doubt, urging me to hear him. I stood, ready to pack my gear, the neon blazing, my sneakers soft on the stage, Kreuzberg's rhythm syncing with my fear. Milo grabbed my wrist gentle, his eyes pleading, raw, unguarded. Don't fade the track, he said, voice cracking, cutting through the festival's hum. I'm not your ex, Elias. My heart raced, his touch electric, Berlin's heat, urging me to stay, but Hamburg's voice hissed, he'll ghost. Prove it, I challenged, voice trembling, a desperate hope. Milo's grip steadied, his eyes burning with resolve, the neon glowing brighter. Kreuzberg daring us to play. Asterisk, I stepped away, the club's hum blending with the neon buzz, Milo following, his shirt catching the purple and red lights, his eyes fixed on me. The night air was cool, a light breeze off the spree, Kreuzberg's energy alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. I knew this wasn't just a drop beat or a save stumble. This was us, two sparks riding Berlin's neon sound, fighting to stick the mix. Caught in the track the city was spinning, one I wasn't sure I could trust, but couldn't mute. A light breeze swept through Kreuzberg, Berlin's neon purple. Signs, red club streaks shimmering in the festival's afterglow as I walked away in September 2023. My decks heavy, my heart heavier. Milo's mic hog label echoed, too close to my ex's streams. Hamburg scars screaming. Bail. Elias, wait. Milo called, chasing me, his hair messy, his green eyes wild, desperate. What's wrong? He asked, voice slicing. Through the breeze, I spun, anger flaring. Cap off? You're just a mic hog, I snapped, voice raw, shaking. I'm not your next track, Milo. The neon flickered, the spree humming, Berlin's pulse mocking my fear, urging me to listen. Milo's face fell, his grin gone, his eyes raw, wounded, breeze ruffling his hair like tears. You believe that? He said, voice low, cracked, heavy with pain. I'm not your ex, Elias. He stepped closer, neon painting his face purple and red, his hands open, vulnerable. I sing, yeah, I chase hooks, but I've been burned guys who wanted my voice, not me. Let me singing alone in 2021. My chest tightened, his story mirroring mine, Hamburg's betrayal fading under his truth, but doubt lingered, could I trust him? Or was Berlin's neon just another filter? The breeze softened, his eyes pleading. Raw, urging me to stay. Milo grabbed my hand, his fingers warm despite the breeze. His grip soft, his eyes blazing with resolve. You're different, he said, voice steady, a vow carved in Berlin's glow. Your mixes, your heart, I heard you before I knew you. My breath hitched, his words hitting like a flawless drop, raw, clear, cracking my walls. I thought of my mixes, my soul poured into Berlin's pulse. The festival's cheers lifted me. Why me? I whispered, voice soft, breeze slowing, neon softening. Because you're my sound, he said, his hand steadying mine, grounding me. I'm done with solos. Elise, I want the track. The breeze faded, Berlin's neon puddles glowing like stars. The sprees hum a promise overhead, Kreuzberg's skyline faint in the glow. I wanted to trust Milo, to shed Hamburg's pain, but trust was a beat I'd skipped before. His hand anchored me, his gaze unwavering, and I felt it a shift, a mix, Berlin's energy urging me to spin. One more drop, I said, voice low, a test, a hope, cap loose. Milo's grin returned soft, real, and he nodded, pulling me back toward the festival, the neon brighter, my fears dissolving like static in Berlin's heat. The breeze faded, Berlin's neon puddles glowing like stars. The sprees hum a promise overhead, Kreuzberg's skyline faint in the glow. I wanted to trust Milo, to shed Hamburg's pain, but trust was a beat I'd skipped before. His hand anchored me, his gaze unwavering, and I felt it a shift, a mix, Berlin's energy urging me to spin. One more drop, I said, voice low, a test, a hope, cap loose. Milo's grin returned, soft, real, and he nodded, pulling me back toward the festival, the neon brighter, my fears dissolving like static in Berlin's heat. We stepped back into the neon beat fest, neon purple, red embracing us, techno pulsing like a heartbeat, the crowd alive again. Milo's hand stayed in mine, his touch grounding me in the chaos. And I knew this wasn't just a crash. This was us, two scarred souls finding a sound in Berlin's neon jungle, daring to mix, to trust, to land, even if it scared us both. Kreuzberg's heat fueling our fight. The festival wasn't just a club, it was a vibe. Food trucks lined the street, their neon signs buzzing, serving currywurst and boba, the air thick with spice and city smoke. DJs spun nearby, their decks humming, purple and red lights flashing across their gear. A group of teens filmed TikToks by a glowing beat. Sign, their laughter blending with the house bass line. My friend Kian, a sound tech with a buzz cut and a rainbow wristband, caught my eye, smirking as he adjusted a fader. Elias, you're off beat, he teased, nodding at Milo. He's got you spinning. I rolled my eyes, but my grin betrayed. Me, Milo's hand still in mine, grounding me. Milo's vocal booth was a Vision Mic's looping live hooks, LED strips casting purple and red hues, his SoundCloud tracks trending with viral vocals. A young singer, Lena, maybe 20, with braids and neon earrings, ran up, fist bumping Milo. You recording him? She asked, pointing at me, her giggle bright. Milo laughed, nudging her shoulder. Maybe he's mixing me, he said, his eyes flicking the mind soft, real. My heart skipped, Hamburg's shadows fading, Berlin's neon urging me to stay. I adjusted my decks, testing the beat, the crowd cheering as Milo sang. Our rhythm syncing. Back at my booth, the neon flared red strobes cutting through the purple haze, the crowd denser now, hyped over my mix. Milo stood close, adjusting his mic, his shirt catching the glow, his eyes never leaving mine. I thought of Hamburg, the nights I'd mixed in silence, my ex's strings fading my beats. Milo was different, his presence steady, his laugh a spark that lifted me. "You're killing it," he whispered, leaning in, his breath warm, sparking a shiver. I grinned, my decks dancing under my fingers. Berlin's heat urging me to dive deeper. The festival wasn't just music, it was stories. A beatmaker nearby spun a set, his decks humming, purple and red lights glinting off his laptop. A drag queen in a neon cap hyped the crowd, her voice booming, "Kreuzberg, let's vibe." My cousin, Felix, who'd moved from Hamburg, watched. From the crowd, his rainbow beanie glinting, his nod a quiet cheer. He'd seen me crash after 2021, knew how hard I fought to find my sound in Berlin. Milo caught his eye, waving, and Felix mouthed, "He's dope," making me laugh mid-mix. My heart lighter than it had been in years. Milo's past wasn't clean either. Over energy drinks at his booth, he shared Fragments 2021, a label that promised collabs but ghosted him, leaving him singing in Berlin's co-working spaces, his dreams on pause. "I thought I'd lost my spark," he said, voice low, his fingers tracing the rim of his can. "Then I heard your mixes, Elias. Your soul in those drops." My chest tightened, his honesty a beat that landed, Hamburg's pain fading further. I shared my own scars, my ex's ghosting, the nights I'd mixed alone, doubting I'd ever trust again. Milo listened, his eyes steady, his hand finding mine, a silent vow in the neon glow. The festival pulsed on, the crowd growing wilder as the night deepened, neon signs brighter against the Berlin skyline. A group of ravers spun LED poi, their moves syncing with the techno beat, while a food truck chef tossed currywurst to cheering fans. Kian joined us, his laptop under his arm, joking, "You two are a track, Elias." Lena, Milo's singer friend, visited, showing off a neon lyric sheet she'd written, her earrings flashing as she grinned. The club where we spun buzzed with artists, their clips now including us two figures, hands linked, neon lines glowing. Kreuzberg wasn't just a place, it was our deck, our mix, our love, etched in every beat we landed. We wandered the Kreuzberg streets, the festival's hum fading, the neon signs reflecting in puddles, the spree's hum a steady pulse. Milo's hand stayed in mine, his shirt brushing my arm, his eyes soft, real. "You're not just a producer," he said, voice low, cutting through the breeze. "You're a sound, Elias one, I can't stop singing." My heart surged, Hamburg scars silent, Berlin's heat urging me to believe. I thought of my ex's streams, but Milo's words were different, raw, unguarded, a beat I wanted to. "Lan, you're not bad yourself," I said, grinning, cap loose, my pulse sinking with his dot. The rooftop studio above the festival glowed under Berlin's skyline, purple neon towers flashing beat, red-lit bridges swaying, the spree shimmering. Below like a dark track. Milo and I sat close, my decks parked, his mic tucked away, our energy drinks sweating on the table. His green eyes locked on mine, no longer flashing, just open, raw, vulnerable, my pulse racing. "You're still here," he said, voice soft, carrying hope, his hair catching neon. I nodded, Hamburg scars quiet. Berlin's heat urging me to dive. Hamburg had taught me to hide, to mix in dim studios, alone. My ex's streams in 2021, a scar I carried to Berlin. Milo's hand found mine, his fingers tracing my knuckles, his touch a spark lighting the studio, warm, electric. "I've messed up," he admitted, voice raw, cutting through the neon haze. "Chase labels, trusted the wrong guys in 2021. But with you, Elias, your mixes, your heart, I'm real." My breath caught, his words vivid, like a perfect drop, his eyes burning green, Berlin skyline pulsing, his truth crashing over me. Milo stood, his silhouette framed by neon, his voice rising, raw, a confession under Berlin stars. "I'm falling for you," he said, eyes locked on mine. Neon exploding purple, red, blew the studio trembling with his truth. The festival pulsed below, oblivious, but my world froze. His words a tide washing Hamburg's fear, leaving. Only us. I thought of my ex's cuts, but Milo was different. His gaze, his voice, his heart real, and I was falling too. I'm scared, I whispered, cap off, voice shaky, but Milo's hands cupped my face. His thumbs brushing my cheeks, warm, steadying. I stood, my decks forgotten, our eyes locked, tension electric, air thick with Berlin's heat. Me too. He murmured, voice soft. But I want this, Elias. You, me, this city, all of it. The neon sang, purple and red swirling, and we kissed deep while the spree humming below. Skyline bursting, vivid, alive. The crowd cheered downstairs, unaware, but our kiss was ours. Sealing a track eternal in Kreuzberg's fire, neon wrapping us in a vow we'd fight for. Berlin's pulse fueling us. The kiss broke, foreheads touching, neon softening, Berlin's warmth a blanket. My decks lay forgotten, Milo's mic glinting, his edits of neon tracks glowing us, our montage, inked in purples and reds. We're spinning this, he said, voice soft, grin bright, eyes promising more. I nodded, heart full. Hamburg's. Scars fading under Berlin's magic. A promise we could keep. This wasn't just a kiss. It was us, two sparks in Kreuzberg's chaos. Burning bright, ready to mix love, one neon night at a time.